Hello, boys and girls. I'll be reading to you from Miss Costas' assignment for the week of June 9th. I'm going to start on slide number 3, which gives you the instructions for close reading. These should sound familiar to you. It says, during reading, you will be able to use the following close reading strategies by 1. Using underlined key details to answer a text-dependent question. 2. Writing the main points of each section using the guiding questions and the highlighted key details, annotation. 3. Highlighting the unknown words and using context clues to figure out the meaning. 4. Using the word bank on the next page to know the meaning of the highlighted words in the story. And 5. Reread to answer questions. So the glossary has 4 words in it. The first one is boycott. The meaning is to refuse to buy, use, or go to in order to make a protest or bring about a change. A synonym is refuse or strike. Part of speech is a verb. And an example is customers are boycotting the supermarket while the employees are on strike. 2. Defiance. Refusal to obey someone or something is the meaning. A synonym is resistance or disobedience. It is a noun. And an example is that in an act of defiance, a group of nurses are protesting against the hospital. Number 3 is unconstitutional. The meaning is not allowed by the government or against the government. Synonym is forbidden or banned. And part of speech is a noun. An example is shooting protesters in a strike is unconstitutional. Prejudice is the last word, and the meaning is an unfair feeling of dislike for a person or group because of race, sex, or religion. The synonym is racism or discrimination, and the part of speech is a noun. And an example is Jane's prejudice led her to dislike Mary simply because the color of probably her skin. All right, the next slide we see Miss Rosa Parks, and the title is Civil Rights on a City Bus. People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired, but that isn't true. That's a quote from Rosa Parks, and I believe in the background you can see Martin Luther King in that picture. On the next slide, the directions say, read the story on the next page and write the main points of each section using the guiding questions and the red key details. On the 1st of December 1955, the African-American seamstress Rosa Parks helped change the course of history on a city bus. Rosa boarded the bus after a day's work at Montgomery, Alabama department store. She settled toward the middle, past the first several rows, which at the time were reserved for white people. After making a few stops, the bus became full. Then a white man boarded, but there was nowhere for him to sit. The driver ordered Rosa and the rest of the black passengers in her row to stand at the back of the bus and let the man sit. In an act of defiance that would help intensify the American Civil Rights Movement, Rosa refused to give up her spot. Key question: why was Rosa Parks ordered to give up her seat on the bus? How did she react when she was ordered to stand at the back of the bus? And then below that you see the main point. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks ordered to give up her seat on the bus because, you can answer the question there. The next slide says, for violating the laws of segregation, referred to as the Jim Crow laws, which were meant to keep white people and black people separate, Rosa was arrested and fined. Her refusal to move was a quiet and simple action, but she took an enormous risk that evening. She also became a hero and an inspiration to people all over the nation who were fighting for racial equality, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a young minister who would soon become a major civil rights leader. In response to Rosa's arrest, blacks in the city of Montgomery boycotted the public bus system for more than a year. Like her, they had had enough of being treated like second-class citizens. The Monday after Rosa's arrest, most black commuters walked to where they needed to go, some traveling more than 20 miles. The key question, what was the direct effect of her arrest? And the main point you can write below is your answer. The following slide continues. In her autobiography, Rosa Parks' My Story, Rosa writes of that day on the bus. People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired, but that wasn't true. I was not tired. Physically, or no more tired than I usually was at the end of a working day. I was not old, although some people have an image of me being old then. I was 42. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in. Key question. In her book, Rosa said that she didn't give up her seat because she was tired of giving in. What does she mean when she says that? Use evidence from the previous paragraph if you need more guidance to answer this question. And then the main point is below where you'll write your answer. On the following slide, we continue reading. Finally, in November 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Jim Crow laws that kept blacks and whites segregated were unconstitutional. Rosa Parks had challenged the law and shown people far beyond her own town how cruel and unjust segregation could be, and she had won. The boycott ended more than a month later when the Montgomery buses were integrated. But the resistance to racial prejudice did not stop there. Rosa and the Montgomery bus boycott, as it has come to be known, sparked a series of nonviolent mass protests in support of civil rights. One woman's strength and commitment to change help fuel a movement. Sometimes that's all it takes. The question says, how did Rosa and the Montgomery bus boycott help to change the laws in this country? And then you can write your answer below. And that's it for lesson 1.